Hello everyone, and welcome to this video. This video is going to cover outer joins. We're just going to do the concepts first. Next video we'll do real life examples of using outer joins. Okay, we're going to just cover left outer join and right outer join with this concept. Okay, let's get started. This is the sample tables we're going to use. Two tables, one called continent, one called country. They're joined together through the continent ID primary key here and the foreign key over here. Here's the two tables with sample data in it. Okay, as you can see, we have 8 continents listed with 9 different countries. Some of these continents, such as South America here, there's no countries listed for it. See, K1, which is the continent of North America, has 3 countries listed, but you notice there's no continent with K2. So there's no countries yet listed in the country table that are associated with the continent of South America. Same with Asia. And what else? And Europe and Australia. No, Europe. This one has one. Europe has it. Australia and Antarctica do not have any countries associated with them. Okay, so we're going to use this to demonstrate our concepts of outer joins. Okay, so the first one we're going to cover is the left outer join. Down here in the blue at the bottom here, a left outer join returns all rows from the table to the left of the word left in the SQL statement, and then all the matching rows from the right table that match the on condition. So here's the select statement. Select star. This asterisk or star, remember, returns all columns, not all rows. All columns. From continent, that's the table, left outer join country. So I'm joining the continent table to the country table using a left outer join. My on condition, just like my inner join conditions, was based on the primary and foreign key equaling each other. Okay? So the continent ID equal to the continent ID here. No problem there. Let's go back to look at this definition though. A left outer join returns all rows from the table to the left of the word left in the SQL statement. There's the word left right here in the SQL statement. There's the table to the left of that word, continent. So it's going to return all the rows from this table no matter what. Okay, it doesn't matter anything here, it doesn't matter what the on condition says. It's going to return all these rows no matter what, because that's what a left outer join does. Returns all rows from the table to the left of the word left. There's the word left, there's the table to the left. Therefore, return all rows, and then all the matching rows between the two tables based on the on condition. So now I'm going to look at the continent IDs matching each other. So in reality, that's like an inner join, that portion. Okay, so let's see what it does. So here's my sample data. Here's my return set based on this. So select star means show all columns. I've got 2 tables listed, continent and country, in my select statement. So it's going to show all the columns from both tables. So you can see here that this continent ID column and this continent name column comes from this table here. Okay. And this country ID, country name, and continent ID comes from this table. So when you're first starting out with this, I do recommend you do a star so you can see all the columns and get an idea of what's coming back. Do not ever put in a where clause at this point as you're starting out and trying to learn it, how it works. If you do this without a where clause, remember a where clause filters your return set, but I want to see what's coming back before I do any filtering. So just with this statement here alone, this is what comes back. All the columns, that column from this table, these 3 columns come from this table. Okay, now I can populate and see what I mean by how a outer join works. So remember, left outer join returns all rows from the table to the left of the word left. So there's the word left. There's the table to the left. I start returning all the rows. So let's return one. K1 North America. So I put a K1 there and I put North America there. Okay? Because that's from that table. Now it says, and all the matching rows from the right table that match the on condition. Now let's go here. The on condition is the continent ID equal to continent ID. So let's look at this one I've returned here, K1. Look over here and look to see if there's a K1 in the joining table. There is a K1 there, so let's return this row now. C1 Canada K1. I've already got the start of that, so let's finish populating it with that row data. C1 Canada K1. Great. Is there another K1? Yes. So let's put K1 North America again, this again, and then use these three columns to populate these three columns. C2 USA K1. Boom, boom, boom. There's another K1. So let's populate K1 North America, because that's that. And then C3 Mexico K1. C3 Mexico K1. Any more K1s over here? No, no more K1s in this table. So therefore I can now move on to K2. It's a left outer join. I return all rows from this table because it's the table that's to the left of this word. So I start returning K2 South America. There's K2 South America. Then I look over here to find the matching to meet the other condition of the outer join. Is there any K2s? No K2, so therefore there's nothing that can go in these three columns. So therefore, null, null, null gets returned. Now, MySQL will show the word nulls. Other systems might show the word null. Other systems will just leave it blank. If it's blank, it's a null, okay? So this one luckily shows that it's a null. So there is no values, meaning there's no countries over here that corresponds to K2. Great. Let's move on to K3. It's a left outer join. I have to return all the rows from this table. So therefore K3 and Asia have to come back. Is there any K3 over here? No. So more nulls come back for these three columns. Go to K4. I put that. And then find all the K4s here. There's three of them. So you can see there's three K4s here. Right here. Okay, three K4s. Okay, now let's go to K5. We got K5. There's two K5s over here, right here. Okay, so you can see there's two K5s with the corresponding data from both tables. We go over here, K6. We have to return it because it's a left outer join and the word table continent is to the left of this word. So therefore I return those, but there's no K6 over here. So therefore I get nulls again. K7 I return. There's no K7s over here. So therefore I get nulls. There's a K8. I put that in. Any K8s here? Yes, there's one. So I put that in. There you go. There's the return set from a left outer join. Okay, so from continent, left outer join, country. The definition says return all rows from the table to the left of that word left, continent, and then the matching ones between the two tables that match the on condition, okay, so which is the definition of an inner join. Okay, so when do you use an inner join or an outer join? I always say use an outer join when you're looking for something that's missing, that's not in the table between the two, common between the two tables. So for instance, now let's make use of this. We know how to use it, and this is the return set we get. What if I said, show me all the continents that have no countries associated with them? So you can see K1 has 3 countries associated with it. K5 has 2 countries associated with it, right here. K4 has 2, oh actually 3, and K1 has 8. But you can see that K2, K3, K6, and K7 have no countries associated with them. So I want to just return these 4 continents. I want to return all the continents that do not have any countries associated with them. So let's look down here at this return set that we have here. Notice here all the continents that did not have any countries associated with them ended up with nulls in the country table columns. You see that? There's K2, K3, they all have nulls. And then K6 and K7 have nulls. So those are the 4 I want to return. So how can I get those? I use this query, and then I filter this return set. So I put a where clause in here now, and look for nulls just. So where, pick any of these columns and say where country ID is null, for instance, and then you'll get a filter. So where country ID is null. So I used the original select statement, outer join, and then I just added the where condition to filter that return set. Okay, let's look at that. I'm going to go back here. That's the return set without a filter. So that's why I said put a star so you get an idea of what's happening here. And you can see nulls are coming back. Now, those nulls correspond to any continent that have no countries associated with them. So therefore, if I filter based on these columns, I would find the ones that I want. Okay, simple as that. So I just add the filter in there where country ID is null, and therefore I get that. Now you can change this select statement to say, maybe just say select continent name, and it would just show this column. Keep in mind when you're doing a select statement, what you show in the select up here between the select and from, the column list that you put, has no bearing of what columns are in the tables. I can still use any of these columns in these tables in my where condition, in my on condition, in my having condition, my group by condition, anything like that. I don't have to show them, but I'm showing it for your benefit to get an idea of what's happening. Okay? So when you're just first starting out, I recommend you do a star so you get an idea of all these columns and what's coming back in the columns. So the first time, for starters, put a star and do not put any where clause. That way you see what's coming back and you go, okay, this is good. I can work with this. This is exactly what I want coming back. Now I need to filter it. And now I can put my where clause in. Boom. I see I got what I want. Now I can change the star and put specific column names that I want. Okay, so do it in steps when you're first starting out. So remember, a left outer join returns all rows from the table that's listed to the left of the word left. Okay. A right outer join is just opposite. It would return, if I had this as left, I had this as right outer join, it would return all the rows from this table to the right of the word right, which would have been country, and then all the matching between the two. So in reality, what people who work with databases do is pick one or the other to work with at all times, left or right. I always use left, I don't use rights. And then all you have to do is place the table names in the correct order. In inner join, it doesn't matter which table you list first or second, but in outer join, it's crucial which table you list first or second, because you'll get different results. If I had the word or the table country here and the continent over here, it would return all the rows from the country table and then the matching between the two, which would be a different result. Okay, so if I wanted to make a right join exactly like the last result of this one, all I do is switch these two tables around like this. Now my continent is on the right, but I'm using a right outer join. So right outer join says return all the rows from the table to the right of this word, which is continent, and then all the matching. So I've really made it just like that previous left join by changing the order of the tables here. Okay, but if I had left it this country on this side and continent on this side, I get a totally different result. So it's very, very important what order you put the tables. So this will just take a little practice, but once you get a hang of it, you're just going to pick one over the other. I'll always use left joins. Okay, and then just switch these tables around because it's very important which one you put first. Okay, so that's the concept of an outer join. Let's see them in actual practice in the next video. If you like this video, please subscribe and like, and any comments would be appreciated. Thanks guys, take care.